Hey guys, here's this week's edition of the vlog, Missionary Living. Okay, so before we left Las Cruces, before the big show at the church on Wednesday night, we got invited to New Mexico State University to speak at their radio station for the Uncle Aggie program. That's in the morning. And no, that's all music. That you see collaborations all the time. My biggest collaborator, I should say, his name is High Tide out of Battle Creek, Michigan. We've been working together since basically the beginning. We both started coming up at the same time, and I would say High Tide's probably one of my oldest friends, but we've never actually met. Again, that's the power of the internet. But through social media and the internet, we've been able to work together this entire time. So I do stuff for him, he does stuff for me. We had another show in Las Cruces, New Mexico, so we got to work with the same group that we'd been working with before. This time, the more of the church, the adults got to be involved and come also. So that was fun, and I had performed here last year at some time, and there were some adults, repeat visitors, I should say. So that was a good time of ministering and fellowshipping. And is that a word, fellowshipping? Fellowshipping? Yeah, I think it is. So we had a great time doing that. And then we left there and went to Princeton, Texas. If you've never heard of Princeton, Texas before, there's a reason for that. There's only about 6,900 people that live there. And yeah, there's like one major road, basically. It's about 45 minutes outside of Dallas, northeast of Dallas. And so we went there, and the church that we were working with was Grace Community Church. And the first night we were here, they had a movie. We got to watch a movie with them, and we got to sit down and fellowship and get to know them and hang out afterwards. It was pretty great. And then before the show on Monday night, some of the kids came over to the youth leader's house because we were staying with the youth leader, Danielle, and we got to they came over and we got to hang out with them for a little bit. And what a huge blessing they were. Every place that we've been so far has been extremely different, but they've all been such a huge blessing, and this is no exception. The kids came out, the youth came out, they had such a great time, and it was such a huge blessing to all of us, to me and Michelle. And it took Cordy a little bit of time to warm up to some of them, and to Danielle, but she eventually did, but then we had to say goodbye, so poor Cordy. Yeah. And here's more from Danielle. I'm here with Cordy's new best friend, Danielle D'Amico, and she is the youth leader for Grace Community Church, where we performed at. And thank you for having us and hosting us. If you could just tell everybody a little bit about what you're doing with the youth at Grace Community.
Okay, well, first of all, it was very, very much a pleasure to have you guys, and we totally enjoyed your performance. It was awesome. Thank you. God is doing extravagant things with our youth. We are working on just building their relationships with one another, and God has been really digging down deep in them and helping them grow spiritually, and I just see the fundamentals of their practicing more one-on-one time with God, and really working on their disciplines to reading their Bibles daily, and it's showing in their worship, and it's showing in their walk. They're maturing and thinking before they act, and their dreams are kind of starting to come into place, and they're kind of finding their footwork in what God has called them to do. And it's totally awesome to hear that come out and see that come out in the worship, and how they interact with the younger generations at church and with each other. I'll get stories from them about, oh, this situation happened and this is how I dealt with it, and it's huge improvement, say, from a year ago. And a lot of them have a lot of issues with talking to their parents. Not so much disrespectful, but typical teenage thing, and a lot of that they're even starting to notice, oh, me and my parents are getting along a lot better, and my parents were saying something I didn't agree with or whatever, and I noticed that my tone was different, so they're becoming more aware of how to act more Christ-like daily in just the little areas, and definitely think it's from their just getting in there and putting their feet down to make sure that they spend that time with God and cultivate that relationship with Him to allow Him to bring change in from the inside out for them. So I'm super excited about that.
Yay.
Thank you. That definitely need God's guidance on every step of this. This is faith-based, and if you feel led to donate to our ministry, the link will be in the description below. So thank you, and God bless. Talk to you next week.